hand use, I believe, for the hand used one. I think for the commercial one or for the personal use one, I've seen, because the General Dynamics make a lot of ruggedized laptops, servers, and semi-rug. Semi-rug is, for example, AT&T for any technicians and work in the van, cable guys and all this, and we use the semi-ruggedized laptop. Actually, our product line, actually, most of them actually, the USB port actually resides on the rear of the laptop. It's ruggedized, fully ruggedized, basically in the tank, in the police department, in the police car, and for the military, more for military use. So yeah, so I've seen more on the rear. So because the environment you use, okay. If you put it on the rear side, then probably less than 1 day, then people, soldiers, they're gonna toss your laptop here and there, because it's for circumstances they don't have time to carry it very gently. They're gonna use the handle and throw your laptop right in the Jeep. Sometimes they need that. They need to get on it very fast. So they will not treat your equipment very gently. Depends on the conditions. If the less threatening, they don't care. They're probably gonna drop anywhere. Maybe you step on it. Maybe this is hit it here and there during the run, right? I mean,
yeah, tough one.
Yeah.
Compromise. I like this question. Suggestion for upcoming generation of engineers.
I think it's I would say be humble, more listen. Yeah, be humble, more listening to the others, because I learned that some engineers tended to like to live in their world. They are kind of isolated, so in their thinking that as long as I made it happen, so you guys follow. That's it. So I make it already. I make it possible.
So
but
even the young kids, they don't listen anymore?
Young kid, they have a less experience. At beginning, okay, if they really don't know much, they probably gonna listen to you, because they don't know, they do not have a direction. But once they know something, like a half year, a year later, they know some already, they tended to listen to you less, because they know something already, okay? But at that time, I think that's critical for engineer, because if you can get over it, if you can still listen to somebody, or you still can learn some more stuff before you can say, okay, I'm good now, then I think it's really going to help them on their future career path. So.
Does that happen to you too? I think it's happened to all generations.
Actually, it happened to me too. At the beginning, I listened because the reason is I don't know it. I need a guidance. But maybe after a year, I think I knew it. Then I try to be by myself. I want to make it happen myself without any help. Sometimes for easy stuff I can, but some difficult project I see, and I hit the wall multiple times. I don't want to give up. I don't want to ask for help unless it's, I really have nowhere to go. So later on, when I look back, I think I've just spent way too much of time over there at that time. Probably I should really consult somebody or be humble to listen to someone. Okay? So, it just takes a longer time to learn. It's a learning curve. And I would think that everybody has to go through. But some people can, get over quicker than the others. So there must be something different than they learned from the past. Some people just learn better,
But overall. Do you think that's how we try to do, to be independent? Or
engineering
try
job,
to be
I think.
Creative. That's how engineers.
Yeah, engineer could be creative or could be sometimes stubborn, because if you have a lot of experience, for example, PCB design. PCB design pretty much is based on the function you want to put it on the board. It's pretty much modularized. there's a lot of mature design
So you mean
on the
basic?
market. Yes. You said, okay, this is a voltage regulator. There's a whole bunch of mature design. You can grab that portion and adapt it in your design. Okay, there's a modularized means that this function, there's something already there on the market. But the difficult part is how you can integrate those modules into
design.
one and without much of problems, like a thermal heat transfer problems or the spacing problems, all these kind of problems. I just think that most of the time actually, because we are the contract manufacturer, right?
Mm-hmm.
We receive Gerbers from the design engineer from customer side.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a lot of time that they didn't really consider of the manufacturability that much. Engineering made that happen. From the design, you may know that some of the design really is made by experienced people, because you don't see much of issues at all. Mm-hmm. Even though for the big boards, 300 items, maybe over 3,000 placement on one board.
Mm-hmm.
But some simple board, you can see a lot of issues. Parts sit too close to the edge of the board, and the pin through hole is so close to the surface mount. That's all will make a manufacturing more difficult to do. Then eventually, quality will be sacrificed.
Do we have the right to ask them, like,
One of the good things.
They design, right? And then we saw the problem. Can we fit back to them?
Yes, we call it proactive and post-active. That means proactive means that some customer, they are willing to listen to you. They will send the Gerber before they finalize to fabricate the board. They will ask you opinion. They will ask you to provide the DFM, design for manufacturability. Then they will incorporate your suggestion if they think it's worthwhile for them to change into their final design. Then go fabricate it. But I see less customers willing to do that. I would say less than 10% of the total customers that 10%? They want, less than 10%, they want you to look at it first. Normally, the customer will have internal discussion for sure, but they don't go outside to ask for opinion. One, probably there's a proprietary concern of their design. They don't want to give you the whole design. Second, they just couldn't think of that much. They think that as long as those design approved from all their internal department, then it's mature. They can go and do next. But I think this is really, really good for a customer to send us the Gerber, to ask the manufacturing what is the recommendations. Sometimes we can help them big time, save them a lot of money, then the quality will be good. Well, will be better. Then sometimes most customers will ask us to build the board per the Gerber they provide us. Then during the manufacturing, we might see wrong size, wrong polarity, wrong orientation, all kinds of issues. Sometimes if the problem is serious enough, then we have to stop the line in the middle. That will cost them money. That will cost us money because that board is occupy the whole line. We can't do much of it because we finished half already. And then we still can provide customer DFM, but it's after the fact. Then most likely because of the cost, because they've already fabricated those boards, the customer does not want to change unless it's absolutely necessary or is really a showstopper. Otherwise, they will try anyway to compromise. Say, hey, okay, maybe you did a couple of jumper wires, or maybe you did some rework on that to make it work.
So they less finish the project.
Yeah,
but
then
come back
next,
to rework.
yeah, next kid, they're still gonna do it. We will ask them, hey, you know the problem, you think, yeah, our suggestion is good, you know, but the second kid we received is still the same. They say, well, based on the cost consideration, because they don't build that many. Then the cost will cost them $1,000 to run another new version of a fab, Gerbers, and to fabricate it again. So I see many customers don't do that. They rather pay you rework to accommodate. So that's why I think, yeah, design, you know, before you really, you know, finalize it, manufacturing, you know, suggestion is important.
Oh, give me some advice on the path I should take.
In degree programs, I might not be able to do that much because the thing is, because I don't know what kind of class you've taken right now. But I think overall is, because I got master during my work at the same time. So I would like to know what this course can bring me in the real world while I'm studying, while I'm working. So, for example, maybe you take some statistical class and this and that. I would say more importantly is how you're going to utilize those knowledge that you learn in the class or at school to be used on the working environment. Some of them you can, some of them probably you don't see much of a connection there. Then I think maybe one of the challenges is you need to dig out to find more connection between them in order for you to really understand or to make your knowledge really help you during your, you know, during your work time. So during your work environment. I think this is from what I learned versus, you know, from school versus the, you know, company here. So I don't see much of a connection, but the fundamental is always there. So if you have a knowledge on fundamentals, whether you know it or not, you know this or not, it helps you. You can see the difference. Well, you know the knowledge versus the people and trying to pull, but don't know much about the foundations. So you can see difference. That's for sure. But in terms of the past, I think, you know, just to try to find the connection, try to find the bridge between what you've learned in the class, in the classroom, versus what you've learned while you're hands-on. Yeah.
Oh. Go to the interest of your...
Besides work, interest and hobbies. Interest?
Basketball,
badminton, ping pong, soccer,
this table is good for
music.
ping pong.
Yeah, this is too long for ping pong, so I haven't played for long. Yeah, I think you need to, you know, you need to have some hobbies. Seriously, sometimes your work environment could be very stressful. I think you just need to learn how to relax yourself, how to recharge yourself during the weekend, during off work time, and how to always think positively and to act that way. I think this is more important. I think there's always a hiccup here and there, but how you're going to keep your morale or keep your, you know, interest high in a high level. So I think this is a kind of challenge, because sometimes you could be really follow the way you think during your work and carry on while you're at home. So you need to learn how to separate them and, you know, to think.
And put the attitude.
Yeah, because it's hard to do than said, but you just have to learn. Yeah, there's no really much way to do that. Yeah.
Until a second.
Yeah, someone called me. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Really good? Okay,
It's
hopefully
really
I can help
helpful.
you.
Really helpful. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
No problem.
We almost spent like an hour.